Tonight is a special evening because for the very, very first time, you are about to see the P4, P5 Pininfarina Ferrari. For the very first time, it will be unveiled. Before we get to that, I just want to say that it's my honor here this evening to be hosting you all with Pininfarina. When I started my company a few years ago, I wanted to go into the auction business, and I was inspired by the great classic cars, the fabulous designs from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and Pininfarina was the pinnacle design firm. And they represent cutting-edge style, beauty, a fresh approach, and that's really what we wanted to do with our company. We tried to do something different to push the envelope. So when they said that they wanted to unveil the P4-5 here this evening, I was thrilled and honored. So without further ado, I would like you to all please give a warm welcome to Mr. Andrea Pininfarina and Jim Glickenhaus. Andrea?
Thank you all. I want to first thank David Gooding for allowing us the unveil as a world premiere tonight of the Ferrari P4-5 at this exclusive preview party. And I want to thank in particular Jim Glickenhaus and his family for making this dream becoming a reality. A true one-off, as the P4-5 based on the Enzo chassis, one of the most performing chassis in the world. But I also want to thank the many collectors and enthusiasts of Pininfarina here tonight with us, and I wanted to take this occasion to confirm our determination to further grow our skills to design and build one-offs as, hopefully, as nice as this one, but in particular as we already did for Jim, and other experience with another car will be visible tomorrow in front of the lodge with the 612 Scaglietti K for Peter Calico. I really look forward to the pleasure of showing you the car tonight, and then tomorrow and Sunday in front of the lodge. But finally, I want to thank in particular the Pininfarina team in charge for the design, the engineering and the manufacturing of this unique one-off car. I want to thank them all for their dedication and their passion. With great people like them, we hopefully will continue to make great cars. Thank you.
I'm very happy that Andrea's thanked everyone, so I won't have to do that, but I feel that really from the heart that I really would like to thank everyone from Pininfarina who worked on this car and turned my dream into a car. You know, when I was 12 years old, I stayed up in my attic listening on my ham radio to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. And a short while later, I went to the New York Auto Show and I saw the car that had won Le Mans. And it was dirty, and it was dinged, and the seats were sweat-stained, and that image stayed with me for a long, long time. I can still see that when I close my eyes. And another image I remember was my mom and dad loved art. They took me to a lot of museums, and they took me to the Modern Museum of Art in New York. And of course, the part I liked the best was that beautiful red Cis Italia with the Pininfarina logo on it that's part of the permanent collection of MoMA and is still there today with that wonderful Bell helicopter hanging off the ceiling. But the thing about my dream was, and the way this began, you know, Pininfarina approached me and they said, in addition to collecting cars, would you ever consider, you know, commissioning a car to try to build what your dream is? And, you know, I thought about it, and I said, this is really a wacky idea. But the more I thought about it, the more intrigued I got, and I went home and I mentioned mentioned it to my wife. I found as a collector, it's a very good idea to mention things to your wife before they show up in the garage. But anyway, she said, Jim, every time you get in a car, you always complain. The glove box should be here, and the controls there. I mean, why don't you see it? What is this all about? What is this process? Can you really realize your dream, or is it impossible? It's a very interesting thing. So Pina Farina came to visit me, and after a nice day spent looking at 2 of my Le Mans cars, Paolo and Jason sat down, and Jason showed me a sketch, because when they'd asked me what my dream was, I said, well, I'd like it to look like a P4 and be a supercar like an Enzo. And Jason took out that sketch, and from that moment on, I knew that we were really on a very interesting track. And that voyage led through many interesting things. I mean, the one thing about Pina Farina was I just assumed that they designed incredibly beautiful objects, but I really didn't understand that they were a full-fledged company involved in engineering. And the one thing that I really wanted was I wanted to drive this car. I mean, I think it's safe to say that I'm probably the only human being in the world who's ever driven a Ford Mark IV in the snow. And, I wanted the windshield wipers to work. I wanted the defogger to be more than a sponge wrapped in a chamois. I wanted the doors to open and close. And I wanted to drive this car, and I wanted it to be serviceable. And my friend and compatriot, Sal Baron, who works on all my cars, I wanted him to go over there and work with Pina Farina to make sure that when the time comes for the 100,000-mile service, we can get it done quickly and I can get out driving again. And all of these things happen. But the one thing, the thought I'd like to leave you with is that if you have a dream and you want to see it turn into something you can sit in, turn the key and drive, and after we unveil it, I'm going to sit in and I'll start it for you and do that terrible thing for the motor, but cool thing that the crowd's like, blip the throttle a couple times. And I'll try not to be like Tom Cruise with a Veyron, meaning, when he couldn't get out and he couldn't open the doors, I'll try to do that a little better. But anyway, what I'm saying is, if you have a dream and you have a passion, you can find that passion. And the only people that I would really like to thank, because everybody else knows I want to thank them, are Pina Farina, and I'd like to thank Ferrari. And I'd like to thank Ferrari for having the passion and making cars that, had blood and sweat and passion in them, and making cars that stood in your mind forever, as Pina Farina did. Long live Pina Farina, long live Ferrari. Thank you, and I'm going to have my son. So this is Andrea's son and my son. We're going to take the cover off, and now you'll see if you like it or not.